Hello, I'm Ryan F9 and I just finished the old 9 to 5. Now Google Maps is saying it's going to take me anywhere between 12 and 50 minutes to get home in a car. Now that's arriving somewhere between love you honey, dinner's on the table, and the kids are in bed, asshole, I hope you like cold casserole. Fortunately though, my butt hasn't been on four wheels since I worked the handicap section at Chippendales. And on a bike, I make it home in 12 minutes every single day. If that bothers you, then this is why filtering is actually a good thing. Now for starters, in most of the world where it's legal, filtering is defined as a motorcycle moving less than 30 kph, sneaking through cars that are also moving less than 30 kph. So, it's really very undramatic. And I'll show you what I mean. Excuse me. This obviously is not the crazy fine lines being shaved by Brazilians that you've seen on the internet. Nor are we talking about these crazy fine lines that you've seen being shaved by Brazilians on the internet. But even still, 61% of car drivers, according to UC Berkeley, disapprove of this practice. And they'll often show me their longest finger as I sneak by. Because, to be fair, filtering does look a whole lot like cutting ahead in line, and that would be very uncool of me if we were going to the same place. See, you're going home to your wife. If I were also going home to your wife and filtered in front of you, then you would have a reason to be mad. You'd have two reasons to be mad, in fact. But the reality is that everybody is going to a different place. And since my final destination is not the home of your suspiciously social life, then the bike getting through traffic and getting out of it doesn't actually affect the car at all. The bike is just using a piece of the road that is otherwise wasted on cars. In fact, if I were forced to sit at the end of this traffic jam, then I would just be adding one more length to it, meaning the wait would be slightly slower for any of the cars behind me. And that's really the beginning and the end of my lane filtering logic. It should be legal because it helps bikers and it harms nobody. Quod erat demonstrandum. Of course, you'll hear a bunch of other weird endorsements that are a bit like having Jeff Epstein at your political rally. Common, but in the end, it doesn't help anybody's case. For example, lane filtering should be legal because it makes motorcyclists safer. I hate this straw man. Because, yeah, it's true. A bike is about twice as likely to be rear-ended when it's sitting at the end of a line of traffic. But the second that it starts filtering, it's also twice as likely to rear-end somebody else. This according to UC Berkeley. So 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. Another argument you'll hear is that as a motorcycle filters past cars, it makes the car drivers all more aware of the motorcycle's presence, thus making them more aware that motorcycles exist and improving general visibility. But I don't like that argument either. We're all aware that John Cena exists and still none of us can see him. Australia did the best study in this sense. They legalized filtering for about 8 weeks. Oh, thank you very much. See, you saw me. And they monitored bikes. Behaviorists were watching, cops were watching, cameras were watching, infrared sensors were watching, pressure sensors in the road were watching, and they noticed no statistical safety benefit and no statistical danger increase either. That's the best study I know of, and it's all much ado about nothing. Now, the only thing that does add a significant difference is shoulder surfing. This is where the bike rides on this side, putting it in the same place as pedestrians and cyclists and more vulnerable road users. Now, Hawaii legalized shoulder surfing in 2018, and they realized that it was totally radical, dude, and just walked it back a couple years later. See, they found that a motorcycle hitting a pedestrian has a 10% fatality rate at only 30 kilometers an hour, and it's a 30% fatality rate at 40. So I really hate shoulder surfing. Filtering should be done between lines of people who are safely in their cars, and that's the only way that it should be done. No sweat, buddy. The other thing about filtering between cars is that it does raise awareness, hey man, for one thing that is useful. And that's the fact that all these car drivers who are sitting in a box, in traffic, hating their lives, they're seeing someone scoot by with a smile on their face. Go ahead. And every time they see that, they're probably thinking, hey, I could do that too. And that's probably the best advertisement for one less car on the road that the government could ever run. At least they could run it if we weren't run by a bunch of crabs in a bucket. This is exempting Colorado, Utah, Minnesota, Montana, Arizona, California, and most of the world that has proven themselves capable of higher thinking than a crustacean. For now, for Canadians, we are legally stuck in the lane in traffic. So, c'est la vie, enjoy your cold casserole, and thank you very much for watching. Stuck in the jam again.
Hey darling, just wanted to let you know the traffic's really bad today, so it'll just be me and you for a while. Can't wait to see you. Bye.